Today, I'm starting work on a Bufflehead Drake decoy. In this video, I'll be working on the body. Why a Bufflehead? The Bufflehead is a pretty cool little fast flyer that we will see in our late season here in the Finger Lakes. Buffleheads will plop down at the edge of your decoy spread. The black and white coloring of a drake on the end of a long line will be realistic and add some visibility. I probably should make a pair, but I'm going to start with the drake. A friend gave me this book of 26 realistic duck patterns. It's a good source for species I don't otherwise have plans for. The species include shoveler, wood duck,
blue wingtail, green wingtail,
mallard, hooded merganser, pintail, widgeon, bufflehead, redhead, canvasback, ruddy duck, and black duck.
Here's the Bufflehead Drake page. I photocopied that page from the book. Since this is probably a one and done, I'm not making a more permanent pattern. I've added some dimension to the side profile below the waterline. These are life-size patterns, so this decoy will be pretty small. I'm using a piece of pine for the body of this decoy. It will be a lot lighter than a basswood I used on my redheads. Since the tail will be an insert, I'm going to modify the tail cut on the block. And cut that top profile on the bandsaw. Before cutting the side profile, there are two processes that I want to do to the body while I still have the top and bottom surfaces to work with. The first is routing a shelf for the head to sit on. The other process is cutting the tailboard slot. The design of this Bufflehead shows a fanned tail, which lends itself to a tailboard to reproduce that look. I'm making the slot 1 3/4 deep and 1 7/16 up from the bottom and 3/8 inch thick. I'm setting the blade height for that depth and the distance between the fence and the blade for the distance up from the bottom. I'm using a jorgy or a wooden hand screw clamp to hold the decoy while sawing. The clamp will ride along the top of the fence, making this a much safer and accurate operation. I would not recommend trying to freehand this through the blade standing on end. With the bottom of the decoy against the fence and the clamp riding on top of the fence, I make a cut, move the fence over roughly 1/8 of an inch, make another cut, move the fence again, and make a final cut. Now I can cut the side profile. I'm using a draw knife, spoke shave, and my new shave horse to further shape the decoy. So that this video doesn't get way too long, I've made a separate video of the shaping. See part 2, just not yet. I want to try to define the wingtips to add some shadow lines. I'm using a flat file on the outside line and my X-Acto knives to define the inside line. Then some additional shaping and smoothing using a Dremel tool, a pound sander, and some hand sandpaper. To hold the tail insert in place, I'm using Gorilla Glue. Get it? And I just got 10 tons too much on there. Well, maybe not. Dampen the other piece. And we're going to give that an opportunity to set up. It's been a few hours since I put that tail insert in there. And as I expected, the glue has expanded. So I'm going to go to the bandsaw. I'm going to cut that profile out, and then I'm going to use a knife and try to get that excess glue off there. Not bad. I'm pleased with the results. So I'm going to wrap it there on a high note. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for additional videos of progress on the Bufflehead.